This TSM squad, you can see that's a look at the team, but tonight they're actually playing with Ivy instead of Proofy. What does Ivy bring to this lineup over the likes of Proofy for TSM?
Honestly, Ivy, a player, I haven't seen him play too much.
Okay.
Not kind of like a household name, especially when you compare him to the player he's filling in for in Proofy. But from what I've been seeing from TSM, he's kind of been helping out with the aggressive SMG play. Wheats has been playing like the primary assault rifle, and Wheats was killing it last night.
Oh, he definitely was. And Wheats has been someone who's been one of my players to watch so far in Black Ops 3. Him alongside Pac-Man have definitely gone from the players who kind of struggled at times in Advanced Warfare to now being two guys who can more than hold their own in all different game modes. First two bans, kinetic armor, followed by rapid fire.
There
it's going to be a protect the flashbang from Wheats. That got you a little excited, hot and bothered there, Revan.
Something
What
different.
do you like so much about that?
It's just something different now. It's going to, force maybe DT to start running some tac mask here. And on every hard point, when you talk about like how you set up to break it, bounce a flashbang off the wall, and here we see Perk 1 Green get banned out.
God, Revan, you're so happy.
I mean, it's just different stuff. But it's like we're going to see a completely different game played because of these two, one protect and one ban. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, too.
Changing everything up. There's your typical overclock and high caliber bans, and now it's going to be finished out by Killa and Pac-Man. I just want to see Killa ban something absolutely ridiculous.
I think Pac-Man might ban the Semtex.
Semtex, smokes are still available.
I'm not sure how worried you are of smoke grenades. Maybe
you just let Killa throw them around because he just does, and just kind of doesn't work.
I feel like they've kind of been hurting DT a little bit more than they've been helping.
Okay.
Pac-Man goes after Afterburner, and stock gets taken out by Killa.
That'll definitely affect the AR players here, and hey, subs more and more often now are using that VMP with quick draw, grip, and stock.
Yeah.
Try to get that little bit of extra movement. It's something that actually Miracles is a big fan of from Complexity. Now, though, as we head further on through, the first pick in the specialist draft will be that Purifier of Kolchan. That was banned out in the first hardpoint we saw earlier tonight. Now, though, the first pick from either squad, for good reason, Revan, on a map like this.
Yeah, the Purifier, you get a lot of zoning capabilities with it on a map like Breach, and then, of course, you go right after the site. So far, everything the same here for both these teams.
It's going to be Heat Wave
and then Kinetic.
Kinetic was the first ban.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So, Camo?
Yeah.
Camo, and Killa's used Camo a ton of times. It's a perfect mirror matchup from top to bottom to kick off this best of 5 between almost forgot how to speak there for a second.
You just turned into an owl.
TSM, I would love to be an owl. Owls live great lives,
Do they?
They're nocturnal, which is what I am already.
Yeah.
They stay up all night. They sleep all day.
I know you stay up all night.
I know, yeah, because you go to bed by 10:30. You're like watching like old like soap operas, and then you're asleep, and next thing you know, it's still normal hours of like 11:15, and you're out cold.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do about that. Thought you were a true gamer, bro. I thought you stayed up all night.
I do on the weekends. Not on the weekdays, though. We got to be up early for work.
No, you're right. I forgot. Weekends, you're up until about 11:45. You're really pushing it, getting a little bit frisky there.
Hey, listen, I'm starting to turn a little bit into. My mom goes to bed at 7:30 on the dot. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. I could not do that. Mama Revan, great job on that one. Hopefully Revan goes a little bit more of a late night out. Hey, I'm trying to be respectful of it. Decided not to cast the finals on 25K because I didn't want to keep you up all night. You were also not feeling well, so I held that L for the betterment of my roommates. Still, we go back and forth, but back to this game. In this one, keys to victory for DT, because I feel like we both are kind of looking at
the same pace, play together, focus really on your teamwork. Maybe let Killa worry less about the objective, more about picking up kills around the map.
Okay.
Maybe I think that's a reason that he's kind of been struggling with saying it's because he's just been like, I got to be in the hard point.
I got to run.
I got to be in the hard point. I got to be holding the drone. I got to be going after the flag that he just can't slow down and kill people.
Which is something that really plagued Sharp in the beginning of this stage for TK. Obviously, they still have their fair share of issues, even if they have changed up roles a little bit. Looking to see, though, can DT win this series? I think they need this win a little bit more than TSM, but hey, TSM...
Well, yeah, DT there all the way down in kind of last place.
Yeah,
so.
They are at the bottom of the bottom right now. Breach Hardpoint will be the map. Purifier is in play. Active camo from both teams as well. It's a 2-2 split from Lethal and Ability Specialist. Revan, I always ask, and you hate when I do, but I always ask because I know it upsets you. TSM take it. Map count?
3-0.
Whoa!
What do you mean, whoa? Come on, this is a last place DT team. This is a TSM that's on the come up.
I think Dream Team take it in 4 games.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's your upset of the night?
That's my upset of the week.
Of the week?
Yep.
Okay. We'll see if it comes true. I just don't know, man. DT, I mean, sure, they've had some good performances every now and then, and kind of how we were talking about complexity. If they would have lost every game 5, they'd be kind of where TK was in the standings. If DT win their game 5s, they're in a pretty good spot.
They most certainly are. Unfortunately, though, time travel isn't a thing yet, so they can't go back and play those matches over. Kick things off. It's Chino in the power position. He's already got 3 kills with that AR sitting top vents, but Pac-Man already has an HG.
What?
That has to be the quickest HG of all time.
Yeah.
That has to be the quickest.
Get some good information, too. He knows that he's going to get pressure from DT as Pac-Man continuing to stay alive. Eats the grenade as well. As I really like the class choice from Pac-Man here. You saw him at the beginning just kind of toss out those trophy systems. It's just going to help solidify his position inside the hardpoint. Right now, DT, they don't even have a point.
Okay, Pac-Man, you can stop now. Okay, Pac-Man, time to stop.
He's on a 5 spree. He's about to get that Hellstorm missile, working towards the Cerberus as well. Turns around, gets some cover from his teammate Colchan as he takes down Sender. As DT, they're going to give up.
They're going to get a full 50+ seconds on this first hard point. This is the first time I've ever seen this in Black Ops 3 where a team literally gets every second. He's 25 off a Cerberus. You got to watch him.
I'm surprised that they didn't give him the capture points into the next hard point.
Would he have gotten there quick enough? Who knows?
Who cares if he would have gotten there quick enough? You have your teammates push forward, just slay out.
No, Pac-Man. Oop!
You got to be careful. You got to be super careful.
Yes, he gets it! It's a Cerberus in just a minute of gameplay. A 7-0 start. The quickest Cerberus I've ever seen in competitive COD. That is just... You can't ask for a better beginning of a game. TSM already up by 60 seconds. They still have a Cerberus to work with as well. I would honestly use that as they rotate towards that next hard point.
Waste no time in bringing it out?
Exactly. Get it out right away. You've already got Sender inside the hard point. He's got an HG of his own. Moving closer and closer towards that Hellstorm. Sender says, you know what, Pac-Man, let me show you what I can do inside a hill. DT, they'll bring the score back within about 25 seconds at the end of this rotation. But it's TSM already set up in bottom palace. We'll see if they can hold off this first push from DT.
You're looking for Diabolic to go big here, I think, if you're on DT. As both players coming through middle, get taken out. Here comes Diabolic. He does find one. Trying to find his way inside the hardpoint now. I want to quickly switch back to Sender. So he's still working towards this Hellstorm missile. If he's able to find a couple of kills,
I think he dies
he'll get the Cerberus.
I think he dies right here. Yeah, look, he can't even... They're just zoning him. And look at how useful this is. This is making it so awkward for DT as they have a player. Look at how long has this engagement gone on for? 20 seconds? They're
just playing peekaboo with each other.
Look, Sender's like, what do I do?
Because he doesn't want to rotate back. That would just waste even more time.
He's really not
helping out his team at all.
Streaks. Now he's going to begin to pinch on up. Sees TSM players still spawning, and for all that time, that's the outcome. What a frustrating scenario for Sender right there.
And now they're down by 70 points.
They're down by 70 seconds. That was one of the longest engagements I've seen in COD. That went on for 30 seconds right there.
Yeah, that was a little rough. I mean, TSM, it's not even like he was kind of interrupting their spawns, right? I mean, they spawned actually better. They spawned inside the palace with their teammates inside the hard point.
Instead of spawning in the back there, as you were mentioning, they spawned actually inside the hard point.
Oh, Colchan, there's a player that just went directly over him. Now he's going to turn around and spot him.
TSM, everything going right for them in this game, number 1. Diabolic and Sender trying to go for that pinch. They've got 2 players in the hard point as well. Looks like Pac-Man's going to get 1. And Pac-Man get the second. It doesn't appear so. Pac-Man 16-6 though, with already a minute and 15 in the hard point.
So Weed's now running this primary assault rifle. He's always been a pretty good AR player throughout his entire Call of Duty career.
Yep.
Cool to see him kind of going back into that role, but I want to try to watch more of Ivy throughout this game because, once again, he's a player that I really just don't know too much about. So I want to see what he's all about here.
I mean, hey, TSM are looking solid with him right now, but as we keep talking about how well TSM are doing, DT, they've slowly began to fight back. One player, though, I do want to highlight is Killa, currently at 6-15. His respawn struggles continue, right? It's something that we keep talking about with Killa as Pac-Man picks up his 9th dirty 2-piece of this game. He's ogre twitching now on the map, keeping himself warmed up. 50-second lead still for TSM as the rotation towards Lab comes in, and Ivy gets the kills on the rotation. Hey, it's what you wanted if had a player on your team knows not to challenge there. Ivy looking very solid at 14-11.
Yeah, really good decision-making from Ivy so far, and he got some crucial kills in rotation. Just stopping those DT players from getting closer and closer. Oh, no more Purifier from Colchan, but I'm sure he put it to good use. Just not really kind of used to pick up kill after kill, mainly used for its zoning capabilities.
Oh, for sure. As Colchans is trying to buy his team as much time as possible. Now he'll begin to peek on out. What a weird engagement that's happening right now near top AC. Finally, Sender does take him down. It's a 3-man kill feed in favor of DT. There's the 4th one. Dream Team will get the break. They're still down by 70 seconds, though. And, you know, hey, the next one's top middle, so you might as well try to go for one final break if you're the likes of TSM.
Yeah, why not? Chino now has the scythe to use.
Yep.
Sender's going to choose to deploy his HCXD. Immediately gets a kill as he has a Purifier, and this is another great hard point to use it on.
Oh, definitely. He's ready. Last time it was TSM.
He's no longer ready.
Yeah, he's definitely is not ready now. As he's going to have to come back up off the respawn. Last time TSM held this hill for about the full 60 seconds. We'll see if Dream Team can bring things back in their favor, as after the first rotation, they're still down by a full minute of gameplay. You've got Chino ready to go with this scythe. Dream Team, they're hanging in at Revan, but it just looks like every time they get 2 kills, TSM answer back with 2 of their own.
But here comes Diabolic. He's going to get fully streaked out. Immediately calls in his Cerberus. Also has a Hellstorm and an HCXD to use. But I think kind of the first engagement you saw Killer get as that middle hardpoint was popping up has been the story of DT ever since he was picked up, right? He was watching his front door, just completely zoned in on locking that down, trusting his teammates to watch his back door. What happens? A player from TSM comes right around the back, no contest whatsoever, and takes out Killa immediately.
The Cerberus is on the map. Does Pac-Man still have his after all this time?
Yeah.
Yes, so he's still waiting. When do you call that in, Revan? Well, I mean, I'm guessing the next Palace hardpoint?
I mean, yeah, you're kind of running out of good hardpoints to use on. Maybe he's just saving it for if DT kind of make it a game, then they can kind of call him and be like, okay, we got the 5th man to help us out. Drea closes out. The Hellstorm missile gets called in. Nothing done by that, as Wheat's now going to use his scythe while Pac-Man breaks with the camo.
Thought he was about to kill Pac-Man as he popped camo there.
I can't see you no more.
It doesn't happen. 3 kills go in favor of TSM. They've spotted where Chino is. They're going to look to clean him up, and there's Pac-Man with the long-range VMP shots. What a game he's having, 27 and 15. I can tell you right now, Mud Dog is watching at home, and he's got a smile on his face. Those two are always talking over gameplay, and they're big supporters of each other in life. There's Colchan with the 3-piece. The Cerberus is down on the map, and Mini Pac is about to light up the game as they've got that 5th man.
However, is that a good position to put the Cerberus in?
No, absolutely terrible.
Especially because the hardpoint, it's about to move across the map.
Look at it. Hello.
Hey, buddy.
I am here. Unfortunately, I can't get your hill time. Oh, it's time to rotate. Oh, wait, I'm late. The struggles of TSM right now is their Cerberus has as much map awareness as the players heading into this bottom Palace hardpoint.
All right, so TSM currently up by around 80 points. They're looking to close out this game, as we're going to jump back over to Pac-Man. Yep. The server is still on the other side of the map. He's like, don't worry, guys, I got cages locked down. Site gets shut down as Pac-Man breaks on in. Finds one, can't get the second. It's going to be Killa holding on. Sender still with this Purifier to use. Wonder where he's going to decide to break that out. Killa spawning all the way across the map.
What's funny is a lot of times you see players who will hop in the Cerberus, drive it closer. Yeah. Driving it closer from where it is right now would take, what, 20 seconds to get it even remotely close to where you want it to be, and it's about to move further away. Either way, though, for TSM, they're up by 90 seconds. Everything looking right at the moment. Chino, yes, and Diabolic have more than held their own. They've begun to turn things around a little bit.
These are huge kills for Kill to make. Yeah, nice. Good decision to use the HCXD here.
He's going to try to blow it up on the close player. Will get the kill, earn himself another, but unfortunately, though, 3 players of TSM are there. Kills being traded yet again. Diabolic runs out of ammo. Sender does help him out. Okay, he shoots the sky.
He saw it there. He knows there's a player above him, and it was Wheats that got taken out in the back. But Colchan there to trade the kill. Now Colchan trying to find his intro kills. He's got a Purifier to use to maybe try and break here, but Diabolic also has the heat wave, pops it there, helping Killa pick up that 2-piece on Ivy and Pac-Man. As DT, you're coming back into this game, man.
Now, in the last game, if you were watching Complexity versus TK, it was almost a very similar scoreline, Revan, where, you know, right about this time is when Complexity broke in, and it's looking like TSM are going to do something very similar right now. They've got Colchan hitting the top wall run. Chino picks up a 2-piece. Cole drops on it. He finds 1 kill. There's going to be another player to his left. Thankfully for DT, they clear it out. So what TK couldn't do last time, which is hold a scrap time, DT do here. They're going to be within 20 seconds, but they need to get a perfect break in this hardpoint right away. What do you want to see them do to try to accomplish that?
They do it quickly. I mean, they take out Colchan, who had the Purifier. Sender still has his. He's going to have to bring it out here to help his team break inside. Do they have any other tools to help him out? Well, they're able to do it. It's the HCXD from Chino kind of forcing these players outside the hardpoint. Now contested once again by TSM. Chino falls almost camo acquired by Killer, but they don't
That's
have
gonna
Heat
do
Wave
it.
as well. And yeah, that's going to be tough. I think Colchan's going to bring out his Purifier right here, as he's still going to maintain that through the respawn. Pac-Man falls as well. DT, they break in, and there's enough time. I think they could win it off the rest of the time.
It's going to be very, very close. They need to have a perfect hold. I think TSM kind of realized that, right? If I'm TSM,
Camo.
I try to make something happen. Killa picks up a 2-piece. DT slowly inching closer and closer back into this game. They get a couple more kills in the back of the map. Pac-Man loses that engagement, and just like that, this game is within 5. DT begin to mount the comeback that they need. TSM.
That 1 second they contested for.
The game. That might have just saved them the game. DT with the lead. They're going to rotate back towards middle map. This might be one of the most miraculous comebacks we've seen in the World League. TSM, they're in hill control. Killa tries to slide in. Killa needs to win the engagement. He can't get it done. Ivy's still in there. They've got Colchan with the Purifier. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
250! And DT win the map off Sender's 2-piece. DT, what? I can't even breathe.
Let's watch this again.
Oxygen.
Sender pushes on in, picks up one, gets the second on Ivy reloading. TSM.
I feel sick.
They lose it.
Oh my god.
Taking a look at the scoreboard, Chino dropping 41 and 30. Everybody pitching in on DT in terms of hardpoint time, as DT find a way to come back into the game. And like in the first hardpoint, Pac-Man gets fully streaked out.
I might actually get sick. That was so ridiculous. How did that just happen?
TSM, you know, they're unable to break into the hardpoint. They take so much time to set up to break. They just don't execute. They don't pick up the kills.
Oh
my that DT,
God.
You know, they played perfect hardpoint towards the end there.
Yeah, I literally did not think that would happen. You could hear even like our hype, right? We're like, okay, yeah, DT, they get the break. Haha. I mean, they haven't been able to hold the hill the whole like rest of the game. They break, whatever. They're not going to get it, right? Next thing you know, okay, they still have this. Okay, they still have this.
They still have this. They're down by like 50.
How are they in the lead? Then as you think, you know, Colchan's got the Purifier. They've got middle cube controlled. You think it's going to happen. Sender hits it with a 2-man push right into that middle cube. He gets the 2-piece he needs. DT win it. And my prediction of a 3-1 in favor of Dream Team is looking better.
Yeah, I mean, TSM, realistically, like, they had everything
nuts
to win that map. I mean, Pac-Man gets fully streaked out on the very first hardpoint within, like, the first 40 seconds.
They go 7-0, like the best start I've seen.
They had, like, a 90-point lead at one point in that game.
Yep.
And then it
was 100.
Like, listen, when they had control of the hardpoint, they were doing well, right? They had their setup going. They were picking up kills. They were trading effectively. They had spawns in their control. When it came to breaking the hardpoint, when they did have control, everything fell apart for them.
What just happened? If you're watching over here, you just witnessed one of the most insane hardpoints in the COD World League. I mean, what stacks up to that? Maybe complexity phase on Fringe that we saw?
Fringe always has some
way
crazy
earlier
games.
on, but that was nuts. To end on that top middle hard point, that's why you got to love how Treyarch have switched that up, right? With putting that top middle, it's such a heavily contested hard point.
I think if it's a Palace hard point right there, TSM probably win.
No, 100%. Couldn't agree more. But because there's that quick rotation, it pays off for DT. Killa got that whole kind of surge started when TSM went for one final push. Killa had the camo.
Yeah.
He peeks with it, gets the peeker's advantage, gets the 2-piece he needs. And then from then on out, Dream Team don't look back. They come back by down 30-plus seconds in the final hardpoint alone to not only take the lead, but then win it on that cube hill. Wow, it was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. No other way to put it.
Crazy hardpoint game. DT take it. A lot of momentum behind them going now into Redwood, search and destroy.
Yep.
However, one thing working against DT, this is a great SND for TSM, man. Time and time again, I see them just have great performances in general from everybody, you know, on Redwood.
So you wouldn't be surprised if this series is split 1-1 after the first two games. I can definitely see where you're coming from on that one as DT. They love to just give themselves a great opportunity in a series and then just go, you know what? Boys, pack it in. We got that one map win. After this one, let's just go down 3-0. And
so now
TSM, we got to bounce back.
We're guaranteed to see a CTF.
Yep.
That's certainly a game type where DT can win. You know, UPLINK,
well,
maybe.
Okay. We are guaranteed if it goes 1-1.
Oh, yeah.
So we're still not. Don't worry, TSM haven't won this yet. If you're confused for a second, we
still
still have to play map 2.
Sorry.
For a second, I'm like, yep, and then I go, wait, we theorized that it would be 1-1
Yeah.
after game 2. It's not actually what happened, but go ahead. So there's a chance we see the CTF, but go into what you were going to say about that game mode.
So, I mean, the thing is, right, if DT don't kind of close it out relatively soon here, if it goes to game 5, there's no way I see them winning.
Oh, my God.
Absolutely no way at all. So TSM just need to find a way to win 2 maps, and I think they have it on lock.
This is something I actually want to say, because a lot of times as casters, we go, DT, the X team, they show moments of brilliance. And I get tweets like, when do DT show moments of brilliance?
Just about every series.
Right there. That's showing a brilliance at the end of that game to not only be able to come back as a team, to keep your composure, to lock down 3 straight hills the majority of time, to get clean breaks, to fight through specialists, to fight through streaks. That right there, led by Diabolic's Cerberus fully streaked out moment, that's when the comeback began.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were down by 100 seconds at that point. Wow. What a fun game 1. And the action in the series is just getting started. Waiting for, well, everyone's down on the same team, so this one should be starting momentarily
and then we can hop
on
into
Redwood Search and Destroy. Now, we mentioned the sniper presence in that first series. We saw no snipers brought out between the
Everybody's
2 teams.
afraid of Colchan's sniper.
Yeah?
Even me as a caster, I'm afraid of it.
This is actually funny because I saw a clip of Colchan sniping on this map earlier today that he tweeted out about, saying, I love playing Black Ops 3, which I'm pretty sure it was him because there was a player, they were pushing towards A.
Yeah.
Colchan was rotating from the B site. As he was about to push into big A room, he hit that kind of close quarter wall run where you can spot right through the trees. You know that little hiding cubby that people go and hide into? He wall ran, went up above that building, shot the player who was rotating from top tree on catwalk. Insane stuff. And look at that. TSM say, oh, this is the way I live. Protecting the SVG for Colchan. That was the worst song I've ever said. I'm sorry.
Is that how they're singing it in
Yeah,
their
I think
team
that's,
chat right now?
I think that's exactly what they were doing.
Sender goes after Overkill, kinetic armor banned out from Pac-Man. Let's see how Diabolic wants to approach this. It's going to be an afterburner ban from him. Won't be surprised to see TSM ban out the thermal site. We know Chino likes to snipe from the DT squad, and Colchan rarely snipes with thermal.
Really quick, I quickly hopped onto Twitter to see people's thoughts after that game. And you know how I shouted out Mud Dog and said how he was so proud of Pac-Man, how they were doing right there in that game? He goes, you right. He tweeted me, you right. Like, yeah, you're right. I'm proud of him. 4 minutes later, he tweets, never mind. as TSM threw that one away.
High Caliber still in.
High
Shiva's
Caliber
still in.
is still in play. I think High Caliber Shiva is the 2 picks to finish this one out.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Colchan and Chino. I think they kind of want each other to ban out High Caliber. Colchan will bite the bullet and do it.
Now, Chino, I mean, what is surprising? Chino elects to leave in a weapon like the Shiva.
MR6?
Yeah. Decides to get rid of the MR6. Not surprised
Pretty much like
by that
a mini
all.
Shiva.
Yeah. A mini. Is that a pre-puberty Shiva, the MR6?
It's a baby Shiva.
It's a baby Shiva. Can we call that from now on?
Yeah.
We might as well. As Wheats does get the Psychosis. Oh, Sender first as well. So teams recognizing that this is definitely a map that Psychosis is very strong
Yeah, a
on.
couple of the abilities getting banned out. That opens up the way for Psychosis and Vision Pulse to get some use here.
Glitch. Please.
Well, Pac-Man's taking quite some time to lock in his specialist. I wonder what he's going to go for here. Could be Glitch.
Let's
there
go,
you go.
Pac-Man. I've always been a big fan of yours.
Yeah, you know Pac-Man is a national champ.
From what? COD 4?
Yeah.
Look at my game knowledge, bro. I wasn't even...
That was a guess.
That was... No.
Yeah, what team was he on when he won it?
Wait, I know this. Stop. Don't say a word. Hold on. I don't know. I
have
seriously
no
know
idea.
this. I seriously know this.
Sheesh.
Come on, Jack. I don't know.
He's on Fear, dude.
Fear. I knew that,
Come
dude.
on,
I
no,
just
you
said it.
didn't.
I said that.
You had no idea.
I said, hold up, Fear.
You barely even knew Call of Duty 4 was a game.
Whoa. I was 10th Prestige in that game on 2 separate accounts. My old one, which was XX Lethal 1 with a 4, XX, because I was one of those kids back in the day, because I admit it, I'm proud of my heritage and where I came from. Heritage doesn't apply there at all.
This is always a fun conversation to have. Tweet me your very first gamer tag.
Use the hashtag
CWLPS4.
Send it to us at RevanJB, at CourageJD. What was your first gamer tag?
Revan152535.
Wow, that is the worst thing I've ever heard, and my ears are actually bleeding because of it. How many numbers was that?
That was 6 numbers.
Oh, so you
15, 25, 35.
5 or more, and you are a noob for life. That's the ruling. I only had 2 numbers in my one name. It was a 0 for the 1 in Lethal 1, and then a 4 for the, I believe, like the T. It was some weird thing that I was...
What was your first gamer tag?
My first gamer tag was Bambino 423, because I used to be called the Great Bambino because I was good at baseball when I was younger. And I had that
The Great Bambino?
I had that kind of...
That Babe Ruth build?
I had that Babe Ruth build. I would go up to the plate, home runs all the time. Now, let's get back on track. This game's loading up.
Yeah.
You know, this is a big series. TSM just dropped game 1. We're out here talking about who knows what. TSM, they protect the SVG. Thermal made it through 2, right?
Yeah. Cold
So-
Chain doesn't really snipe with Thermal, but
Hey.
I assume it's available, right? Might as well just throw it on.
Yeah, I feel
think
like-
Thermal kind of really bolsters the sniper and makes him a whole lot more effective.
Oh, for sure. And he's got to be using either that LCAR or RK5 pistol because the MR6 was banned out. We'll see
And so was Overkill, so you
how
can't
it
use
all
any.
pays off. No overkill available, so your sniper gonna have to be on point. TSM down 0-1 in this best of 5 is DT with the shocker in game number 1 to win the hard point, 250 to 248. The map is Redwood. The teams SoloMid versus Dream Team. Revan, predictions for this one. Who takes it? Who wins? What's the round count?
I think I'm sticking with TSM.
Yeah?
I think this is a great map for them. I feel like they have a good feel for how this is played. They have great sense for their timings and where they can push.
Okay.
But DT, they got to have a lot of momentum behind them after that map 1 win. Let's see if they could follow it through here in the second map.
Loading on in its Dream Team on the offensive side of things. They've got multiple VMPs. I'm expecting a B push because of it. And it looks like, yep, that's exactly where they're going to go. If you're going to go A, you typically have to push it with at least 3, maybe 4 ARs on your team. To start things off, it's Diabolic soaring on through. Chino strikes first blood. Diabolic does get out with his life, and that's actually it's absolutely key for how this round will play out.
Yeah, dives into the water as our
And-
application has crashed.
All right, well, that was fun. We saw the first blood. That's all that matters. They couldn't believe it, right? The game itself couldn't believe what happened there. It was in such shock. But we will wind up joining back up into that lobby as soon as possible. Quick little hiccup there. No big deal.
I didn't break anything.
I'll blame you.
I didn't break anything. It wasn't my fault.
I'll blame you for that one. No, but thankfully, I believe the game will continue to go on.
It's happened to us before. I think it's happened
very
on the
rare,
host
though.
end. That's why.
Very, very, very rare, though. So either way, though, you saw how DT, they went right for that B execute. Typically, you're going to have your VMP push up. You got to love the decision to use Tac Mask from Diabolic. It's
Yeah.
a similar scenario where Blast Suppressor kind of matters, but Dead Silence does not matter when you're flooding towards
Yeah.
B site on a map like Redwood. It's very similar to Infection, Search, and Destroy. If you're pushing for B, make all the noise you need to. You need to make sure those tactical grenades can't affect you as
Actually, when
as much as
I'm
possible.
doing that push myself, I just like to throw down a trophy on the bridge.
Okay.
Just because you know those grenades are going to be coming at you. So you might as well just throw down a trophy for extra protection, not only for yourself, but for your teammates as well.
Absolutely. So we will try to get back into that lobby for you all, so we can keep bringing you the action. Remember, the map is Redwood Search and Destroy.
But I guess it was only on our end.
Yeah, I do believe that was only on our end. So we did receive word from the back that I think things are still going on as normal. It's going to be up to you to join up, get into Codcaster mode right away.
I'm spawned in. I got combat focus on.
Ooh, this is Revan's debut. He's back, folks.
I've joined DT.
back from
the
retirement.
fifth man.
Fifth man. Hey, whew, DT sometimes they definitely need a fifth man to win some of these games that they like to throw
Ooh.
away. We'll see though how quickly we can get into Codcaster mode. I'm wondering what some of these gamer tags we're going to receive are from that question we asked. I'm just kind of scared at what they could
A
possibly
lot of X's, a lot of numbers.
Yeah, numbers and X's were a big thing, especially back in like Modern Warfare 2, COD 4. Mainly COD 4 was really when it was popular.
Yeah, I remember one of my first name changes, I changed it to iRevanXX, all spaced out and
That's
looking
impressive.
fancy and stuff.
That's impressive. We are back in the Codcaster. Boom, we're back in the gameplay. TSM looks like they did win round number 1, and okay, and well, we saw the one heightened moment of action we needed to for round 2 as Chino closes it out. Make it a 1-1 game between DT and TSM.
So it looks like TSM won their first defensive round. Same thing will go for DT as we'll take a look at the round ending kill cam here. Chino kind of gets beat down in the face and responds with some Elcar shots at his opponent.
That's a reason why, the beatdown, obviously not a one-hit kill in this
And I
game.
like it like that.
You're a fan of it? You don't like the good old panic knife that we've seen in prior CODs?
Nope.
I can see why you'd say that one. DT back on offense. Killa still rocking the sub, which means, hey, they're going to push right towards B yet again. It's going to be a 3-1 split for the likes of TSM. Killa going to be in charge of watching that flank, and he should have someone from TSM pushing up here momentarily.
Yeah, Colchan may be threatening on the flank there a little bit. It's going to be Diabolic with the bomb in his hands. He's looking to slowly move forward closer and closer towards that B bomb site. Pac-Man on the defensive side. He's going to spot this as Colchan falls off of the map.
How many times do pro players fall off the map? I mean, come on.
At least once a game.
You'd think as time's gone on, they would get better at it, but still, it's like I'm playing. It's like me. That's how often I fall off, which is acceptable.
Wow.
Oh, wow! As Ivy slides out and gets the kill, Wheats finds the second.
I didn't think he would be that aggressive.
And just like that, it's Killa left in the 1 versus 3.
Yeah, Killa, the last one up. 30 seconds remaining. The bomb has been dropped, and he's running right through the middle of the map. Gets spotted and picked off by Ivy. Ivy with a great decision just to slide out towards that B bomb. Wins that engagement, gets away with his life.
Yep.
And then he winds up finishing the round here as he cleans up Killa, jumping into the top laboratory window. Good stuff from TSM.
Quickly looking through some of these first gamer tags people sent in. Alaskan Yeti, Rancid IIV, and the Thra. I don't know. Apparently it's a Pokemon. I have no idea. I only know the original 150. As
I don't think that's true.
TSM are up 2-1. Ivy gonna pitch on up. There is one player though sitting these top stairs. He's gonna get caught throwing a stun, and that's one that I don't necessarily agree with the decision to throw the stun from that.
I feel like you thought it a lot earlier in that push.
Yeah, you can't afford to toss it right there because someone could be those close stairs, and that's exactly what happens. Wheats might have an opportunity to push right through middle map. There is a player to his right. Will he get spotted? Doesn't appear as of yet. Chino though does get a second kill for DT as they're probably
no
take
blast
this round.
suppressor.
No blast suppressor. Chino was almost caught throwing a nade. Pac-Man does his best to even it back out, and just like that, it's Wheats left in the 1-on-3.
Oh, does spot one near back. Laboratory decides to reload and backs up, still taking some fire from Killa. He's going to go ahead and challenge, but Killa will finish the kill. And I was wondering why Wheats didn't kind of push into the top window a bit earlier, and that was why. It's because he didn't have blast suppressor, but neither does Killa. Killa only has 2 perks here. Fast hands and dead silence.
Wanted to go with those 3 attachments, having to spend the 2 extra points to get primary gunfighter 1, and that quick draw attachment. 2-2. Teams
Also has
still
2
very
stuns
even.
and a frag.
I mean, it's Killa. You expect him to have as many nades as you could possibly carry. Start off this round though, it's going to be a 2-man push towards A, and this can wind up working out perfectly for Dream Team as they make.
Yeah, send her through some early nades.
Yeah, it's all distraction. They distract from top bunker from B. Now they begin to inch on up. One player kind of realizing something might be happening. Who's out in the back of the map? It's going to be Colchan, who's inching on over with this SVG. Still not using the thermal, as you mentioned. And it looks like the bomb will get planted by DT, but look at the setup they have. Who's lurking all the way near water? Sender.
Is he going to flank?
Going on the hottest flank of 2016.
The longest flank for sure. But because it's going to be at such a weird timing, I don't think TSM are going to be ready for this. And he actually spots them kind of pushing forward into the lab. He's going to come behind everybody here from TSM. He's going to find 1, make it 2.
Wow, Sender.
As DT.
You dirty man, you.
Easy round for DT as they retake the lead here on S&D Redwood.
It's a unique play, but it pays off for situations like that. A swing round where, you're on offense, you've got to try to make something happen. You try something different. Sender on that hot flank gets it done. Killa with another round-ending kill cam. DT up 3-2 as they continue to win this series against TSM.
What if DT 3-0's TSM right here?
Then I don't know what to believe in the world anymore. That's what happens if DT 3-0's TSM. If you're TSM, you gotta go.
There are the trophies to help out.
Like, well, what do we do? We've tried adjustments with our team. We've explored different options. Now we're losing 3-0 to the worst place team in the league.
Watch out, Pac-Man. You're getting flanked.
Oh,
Diabolic shooting you in your back.
And he gets an HC because of it. TSM at a number disadvantage yet again. The
he sees the shadow.
Seen. Oh my God, Diabolic.
Does he bounce a nade? No.
Oh,
yeah.
It doesn't get easier than that. Diabolic now just 150 off the dart. The bomb is planted, but DT are going to wait for the pinch to come in. You can just see Chino. He knows that they have to begin to pinch,
they need to commit to something, either backing up
and he's
or
ready
pushing
for
forward.
it. This is going to be an easy round win for Dream Team. Ivy's going to get pushed from all sorts of angles. DT now up 4-2. They're going to give Diabolic. No, he won't get the defuse. He's got 2 streaks. He's got Heatwave as well.
When they see this, TSM sees everything that's going on. They know Psychosis is available along with 2 streaks, Heatwave, and
Wow.
they see progression
3
towards Camo.
streaks.
Yeah.
2 HCs, a dart, multiple specialists. DT now up 4-2 as they win 3 straight rounds against TSM.
Man, this looks like a completely new DT team. Maybe it's because of all the momentum they have after kind of stealing that hard point away from TSM.
Yeah.
And they're just playing with newfound confidence. Or is it TSM falling flat?
It's a little bit of both, honestly. I think that DT, they find themselves in an advantageous position. Just in the past, they get to this spot and then it all just falls apart.
Yeah, right.
If you want to see a DT of new, they do go for and potentially win this series 3-0. Beautiful EMP out of Sender. He'll check the bomb. He'll know someone's there. And I like this decision.
Killa's always in a bush, man.
They're just playing this a little bit more slow. This is Killa's home. They're going to throw out the dart. It's going to play defensively, try to make sure that dart player can't be killed.
What kind of plants are these?
They're ferns, actually. Please use the correct term. It's offensive to all. What is a plant scientist called again? Bot. Is
Botanist?
Bot. Yeah, bot. Something.
Yeah, it's botanist.
I don't want to hear it. 3-3 in numbers, but look at who it is. It's Killa. Oh my God, he's gonna spot
friends.
2. There's 1. There's 2. It doesn't matter. The shots weren't clean because Killa's gonna spot the 3rd as well. But Pac-Man gets the 1 burst. It's a 2v1. Still a winnable round for TSM. He also has glitch available. Bomb will get planted.
You can plant.
Now
You're
the bomb will get planted. He's gonna be 25 off of earning his highest streak as well. Chino looking towards middle map.
So he did use the dart in this round. I didn't see how much it got done.
He killed 1 player with it. It was the way they got first blood. Pac-Man's going to rotate all the way back around bridge, and this could potentially work out. Chino did drop into the water at the perfect time. Pac-Man time's a ticking. He hears a nade. Player on site. Slides on in. And this is looking like a Pac-Man loss. Yep. DT just 1 round away. Revan from being up 2-0 over TSM.
Definitely not what I was expecting.
I can tell you that because you thought TSM were going to 3-0.
Yeah.
And I had DT winning 3-1. Said, hey, they can even prove me wrong as well with a swift 3-0 over TSM.
All right. So DT, man, they're looking like a brand new team. This is kind of like how we expect them to look every night.
Now, what's funny is, does Chino have an SVG out right now?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I think this is his first time this game.
Thermal, too.
This is kind of where things get interesting, right? Because you kind of like seeing them change things up, always use different things, but at the same time, it's like, well, you're working with just your normal weapons. Why play different now? The HC. Paid Ivy a visit. Unfortunately, nobody's home there. As it's a 4v3 advantage over to TSM. They still try to execute towards this B site as Wheats, as well as Ivy, get to the bomb site.
Cheeto needs to be careful with this angle, because if somebody kind of jumps into his top window, he's just dead.
Oh, Pac-Man.
But just like that,
shot,
everybody dies from TSM, and it's all up to Colchan.
Colchan's nowhere near it. Does he hop the bomb right away?
He's
It doesn't
dead.
appear so. He's going to get shot in the back. DT win the game. What?
What are we watching right now?
I think-
TSM dropping 2 maps in a hard point where they were up by 100 points, and a search and destroy where, I thought this is one of their better S&D maps. And now they find themselves down 0-2. The Shiva coming out at the end here from Sender.
Boom,
Easy
boom,
kill
boom.
as he cleans up Colchan from behind. DT up 2-0. Can they close it out? 3-0 going into uplink.
I mean, you kind of look at things. They definitely have a shot at it. Uplink will be the map, or be the game type. Infection, the map. I mean, this is a very winnable game mode. If smokes remain in play, DT like to get kind of a little bit tricky with them. And I feel like this is a map where you mentioned how at times in hardpoint it hurts them. I think this is one where
Uplink,
smokes will really help them, especially in a game mode like Uplink.
And especially on a map like Infection, where the assault rifles are going to be controlling the engagements.
Yep.
You could use the smoke grenades as a tool to close the gap, get closer, make the SMGs have a bit of an easier time in those gun engagements versus the assault rifles. We'll see if that winds up happening, but so far DT impressing us both.
This would be just insane if DT can get the swift 3-0 over TSM, because things you need to look for. TK lose tonight, DT win. They slowly kind of inch back up in the standings. Here's a look at your after-action report. 7 and 6 from Ivy with 3 plants, but unfortunately his valiant efforts are not enough.
Diabolic 9 and 3. He
Diabolic.
also has 2 plants.
He started the comeback for DT and that hard point with that getting fully streaked out. Goes 9 and 3 there, triple positive. What else can you ask for from a player?
Seems like every time we talk about DT, we talk about the carry potential from a player like Diabolic.
For good reason.
Sometimes he's just able to just carry his team to victory. You know, make those big plays that his team needs. Like you were saying, he did it in the hard point, does it here in the search and destroy, but they got 1 game mode left to go for the 3-0 here. And I think this would be a big statement from this Dream Team.
I feel like we've seen some big statements from them before in the World League, and then nothing comes of it, right?
Yeah.
Like next week they start off like, let's say DT win this match. You know, they win with the hot 3-0. They're feeling good. They're dancing their way this weekend. They're having a good time. Next week starts off, you know, they play another match. It's definitely winnable. I don't know who they're facing, but it's probably going to be someone that they could beat, hypothetically. And they just get stomped.
I mean, this is a DT team. Of course, when they had Happy, they beat Optic Gaming.
We casted that.
So
that's where the
I
curse
didn't
started.
cast that.
Sorry, I casted that. That's where the curse started. Thankfully, that is over.
But, yeah, I think kind of in any given night, like any team in the World League could beat each other.
Yep.
Right? That's just, we have a very large talent pool here in North America. There's so much talent spread out across all these teams that it's just bound to happen. But, you know, DT, they just haven't shown that brilliance as of late.
Absolutely.
And now we're starting to see it a little bit more as we're coming to the end. You know, they're still in that relegation zone. They're trying to find a way to come out of that and, you know, secure their place in the World League going into Stage 2. This would be a good start to making that happen.
Absolutely. Just waiting for TSM to get to the correct team. And there they are. This one should be underway momentarily.
Yep.
The countdown has started. DT. All signs pointing towards a potential 3-0 over Team SoloMid. Did not think I would be saying that one. The Ban and Protect phase is now underway. Last time we saw Protect in the SVG where TSM tried to make something happen. It didn't work out in the end. This time it's TSM again protecting the Afterburner. They want to keep the pace up in this uplink.
Maybe that's something that they're going to try to change the pace of the game. And they're also going to ban Overclock. Do we see another Perk 1 Greed ban come from DT now? Force them to choose between Afterburner and Flak Jacket. And maybe start to use Danger Close. And yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Perk 1 Greed gets banned out.
God, I always get so excited. I love it.
Yeah, I love when players ban and protect different things. So it makes the game exciting. That's why I love the ban and protect here in Black Ops 3.
I love you.
Let's not go that far yet. I just met you.
Just met me. We've been roommates for over 2 months.
You're still a new person in my life.
Oh my God. I don't want to hear it.
I don't open up that easily, Jack.
When we get home today, get your stuff out of there. Move.
You gotta earn my trust.
I no longer want you living with me.
High Caliber and Overdrive, the final 2 bans. As now we're moving into the Specialist Draft, the site gets picked up by Chino the Annihilator from Pac-Man.
I know people don't like change.
Yeah,
I know people don't like change. It's great.
Good.
It's good.
Tempest is just better.
I think the Tempest is just better when you weigh the pros and cons. It even has more shots in it, doesn't it? Has more shots. You can hip fire it. It shoots just as quick as the Annihilator after that first burst. It can chain to other players. It's pinpoint accurate.
People out there whoa. All right. I don't really. But look, this is all because they protected Afterburner and they banned out Perk 1 Greed. This is going to keep TSM honest, right? They have to respect the War Machine.
I love Killa so much. I can see Killa right now in their call going, just laughing, right? Just giggling. And you have
you ever see the Killa laughing montage?
Oh, it's great. I can tell you right now, Killa goes, yo, let me grab War Machine. Let me pick War Machine. They're going, no. Next thing you know, he's just locked and he's like, just starts laughing to his team. DT probably going, I guess this is what we get for picking him up on our roster. I hope they win with a War Machine now and Killa gets a sick play with it because that's the type of stuff that Killa brings to the table. You never know. Now
you have 3 specialist weapons. You have 1 ability in Heatwave. I mean, sure, you got 3 weapons on the other side as well. You know, they're going to be using a Tempest, Annihilator, and Sights. So
it's Annihilator. It's what Tempest versus War Machine is the 2 differences between these teams. When you mentioned, you said it best. He's trying to keep TSM honest. TSM protect the Afterburner for their first pick. Well, guess what? Let me grab War Machine. You guys try to flood in. You spam that War Machine in an area. If they're just trying to Afterburner around the map and run and boost everywhere.
Look, honestly, if I'm DT going into the start of this game, I use double nades, I use one EMP. You throw an EMP off the start, get rid of any trophy systems that TSM might place down. Then you just spam nades everywhere. And if you could get a good break, you could really snowball the game out of TSM's reach from there.
Absolutely. DT. They've got all the pieces of the puzzle. Now they just need to put in the last few and hope that one of their dogs didn't eat it, that they can't finish it on out. You get my reference? Come on, you've built the puzzle before.
Yes, I have built a puzzle before.
You strike me as a puzzle guy.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You just strike me as a puzzle guy. You probably enjoy a good puzzle. That's all I'm saying. I enjoy a good puzzle.
I don't necessarily enjoy puzzles, but I have completed a puzzle before.
You've lied to yourself a lot in these past broadcasts as of late.
What?
You have. You're a puzzle guy. You love puzzles. You have one on the living room floor right now.
No, I do not. You are just lying to all the viewers out there.
No, I'm lying to everybody. So we're both liars. Deal?
I'm not lying about anything.
Whatever, man.
yeah. Unfortunately, you guys missed such a
Whatever,
off
man.
camera.
It happened off camera, but what might happen on camera is a 3-0 for DT over TSM. The map is loading in.
Like, you see that picture on the back of a church?
Yeah.
That is TSM praying to the COD gods right now that they don't get 3-0'd.
It's a selfie of Kolchan. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
You gotta love it.
All right, so flip through the DT players. They are all rocking grenades. In fact, the Shiva makes it through, so Sender is going to be using that. That's going to have a huge impact on this game, I think.
Here we go. What could be potentially the final map of the night on the secondary stream. You mentioned how nades will be a factor. Chino strikes first blood with the Semtex.
Yeah, and he's going to immediately push forward. It's going to be Sender getting early position near mid-map. The drone already picked up. Diabolic getting some forward position. A weak pass forward as both Sender and Diabolic fall. 2 down for each team. But the drone on TSM's side of the map, Chino finds one, can't find any more after that. As now the game is going to slow down just a little bit. Now Diabolic just trying to maintain control of his tank.
This is that tough part of sub, like being a sub player on this map, right? Look at how useless he is. He just has to stay alive. Killer tries to grab the drone. He dies to Pac-Man. All signs pointing towards a potential TSM score. As Chino's the last alive, he'll get one before he perishes as well.
All right, so this is going to be a good opportunity for TSM to get some early points on the board. In fact, it's going to be Kolchan immediately going for a dunk, but he's met with some opposition at the very end. He does get cleaned up after the score, but TSM trying to maintain their forward position. They all fall. It's going to be Pac-Man, the last one alive, holding down middle map for his team.
That's the start you need if you are TSM. You go up 2-0 in the first minute. Now you need to keep the momentum going. Chino currently sitting at 6-3. He's got almost double the kills of the rest of his team combined. As Sender is trying to lock down this B stairs area.
Moving away from the Shiva, putting on Tac Mask as well as Flak Jacket as 2 go down for TSM. Sender has some good position.
Chino can get a great timing.
Yeah?
No, it doesn't work out as Wheats hits the shot he needs to. Wow,
and Sender
Wheats
falls shortly after.
Wheats is getting it done, the 2-piece there.
They need another assault rifle. Yeah, Diabolic brings one out.
There you go. You make the call, and well, DT have already done it. You think that they were just losing their long-range engagements too much?
Mm-hmm. Just running 2 SMGs on this map, it's tough at times. You know, even just running one, it can be pretty annoying just to be that one SMG guy. You rely on your assault rifle players so much to just hold the lanes that you can push up towards. But now, DT, they have control of the drone. They're playing this pretty slow because they have no forward position to work with, so it's going to be Killa working next to Sender, trying to move this drone forward.
Well, they've got Sender with the AR. Unfortunately for him, though, he's going to get shot from the side. Killa just going to wait things out. Hey, he's still got teammates spawning up. He's going to continue to call out where they are, and you mentioned potentially tossing it off. They had nobody middle map, so they're just going to try to force this play down B Street. If Ivy loses this gunfight middle map, which, if Diabolic wins that gunfight, he does just that. The toss goes in. He's going to whiff. Diabolic, can't get the kill, and that's a one-point play you just can't miss after all that time invested.
Yeah, a lot of time off the clock as Wheats throws the drone off of the map. It gets reset back to middle. Looking at Chino, he's kind of the lead slayer right here for DT.
But it's not going to do anything.
Yep.
The drone being pushed up. They've got one player to beat. There's someone sitting on the portal as well. Kill up, buying time for his teammates to get there as lead blockers. He'll just go for the one, settle for that. Oh my God, he misses again.
Got to be hitting these one-point tosses. All 4 go down for DT.
It should be 2-2.
Yeah, it could realistically be 2-2.
Yeah, and this is an example, right, of where things begin to get scary. If you're a member of the DT fan base, you're right now going, oh God, I'm getting flashbacks from the past. You know, this is a game type that they could definitely win. Weeks is going to go for the one. He'll go high, and it'll connect. 3-0. TSM now with a 2-possession lead, and he's on the full flank.
He's looking to stay live here, coming behind a couple of DT players. Finds one, looking for the second, takes out the RK5. Doesn't finish the kill on Chino, but he's bought time for his teammate Colchan. Gets the beat down through the window as he takes down Diabolic. Pac-Man going forward to HCXD, being the distraction that Colchan needs to get the dunk as TSM surging here in uplink. They go up by 5 points, but DT are not out of it just yet.
5-0 in favor of TSM, a 3-possession lead. Everything going right for Team SoloMid as they try to hold down that back tank area. Unfortunately, Diabolic and Center do rotate back, so if I'm DT, if I can get into the half with maybe just a point on the board in some way, I'm going, okay, guys, you know, we played pretty sloppy. That was our own fault. We're down 5-0, you know? Now, let's switch things around. Let's get this game win. Killa knows there's still a player behind him. Somehow hasn't been killed as of yet. He will rotate that drone towards middle map, and you can just see how awkward it is without an AR presence in front of him.
Yep, he's going to meet one player at the tank, and Weiss with just the better positioning shuts down 2 DT players. Earns himself the site as 3 go down for DT. Chino does stop the drone carrier as he's just trying to stop TSM from getting a last-second point on the board, but Ivy moving so far forward. Unfortunately, Colchan just unable to get the pass off. Weiss is going to try to make this one happen, but DT, he does get the toss off, but it goes a little too far. Fortunate for DT at the end that TSM don't get any extra points, but they have a pretty comfortable lead going into the half.
If I'm TSM, I'm like, okay, boys, we're back in this series, right? We're up 5-0. Let's just not throw this game away. Destiny is in their hands as they try to force this game 4. Do you think that if TSM force a game 4, they win the series?
No.
No? You think DT still win it?
I think they still have to grind out the CTF and keep, you know, respecting DT. Okay. I think maybe they were a little overconfident, and you know, who wouldn't be going against the last place DT, but you still got to show them the same respect that you would going up against any other team.
The woes of Killa continue, right? They're double negative right now. He's double negative right now. It's something we see so often from him in the respawn game modes. They do have a couple lethal specialists ready to go. When will they bring it out is the big question if you're TSM. A couple kills in favor of DT. Colchan sitting from his front tank area. Pac-Man evens the numbers back out after the first push. And just like that, DT lose all map positioning as they grab the drone and push it towards Barn.
Yeah, Killa coming around the flank, but just unfortunate timing as Weiss gets him from behind the drone toss for yards. As Colchan now slaying alongside his teammates. They're pushing Graveyard all together. This is going to be another scoring opportunity for TSM. We've only played a minute into the second side as Weiss brings out the scythe, and the dunk comes in from Colchan. The heat wave popped a little too late as Weiss continuing to slay with the scythe does finally fall as Ivy, now the last player live for TSM. DT need to convert this into some offensive scoring.
Yeah, I think this is a TSM win 100% for me. DT just have looked very flat so far this game, slaying entirely in TSM's favor. Chino really the only one putting up a major fight from DT. Even there, as Diabolic tries to sneak away, he just can't get out. Weeds picks up a 3-piece with the AR. Everything going right for TSM. He's 50 off the streak. They still have some lethal specialists. I mean, Revin, I think this goes to a game 4.
I told you we were guaranteed a game 4.
Okay, I don't disagree. The map will be breach. But hey, DT, they're not out of this yet, but I mean, they just haven't done anything that would make you think that they come back in this game.
Really, it's just their slang, I think. You know, you got Killa. Sure, he's having his struggles, but only one player positive, and Chino, you know, to be fair, there's still his time. He's got the War Machine.
There you go. He does have that, but this should potentially be a dunk.
They have to dunk it.
Yeah, they will. So 3 minutes left, down by 5. Still a winnable game. Ivy with a great heat wave to help clear out his base. Weeds finds the final remaining player. Just like that.
Chino has to find a lot of kills here.
I feel like this is a scythe time if I've ever seen one.
Well, he's getting it done with that. I mean, 3 go down Killa. Do you take out the War Machine?
You know exactly where the final player's at. Killa spots him. Oh, they're not pushing up on the map, though, and Killa's going to die to Colchan. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That play right there frustrates me. Instead of just kind of making a play happen, going for a 1, making it a 4-point game.
And he's still alive.
Colchan is still alive, wreaking havoc, just 200 off of more streaks.
All right, listen. Killa takes out the War Machine, fires 4 shots, picks up 4 kills. DT turned the game around.
Is that what they need to happen? Finally, Colchan dies. Still, no drone pickup as of yet. Sender's going to get shot in the back here momentarily. No,
No,
actually,
he's just waiting for the drone carrier.
player let him go by. Wheats picks up 2. He'll turn. Can't get the 3rd, but at least you know where he's at. Oh, God.
There's a team kill with the War Machine. That's why you don't see it used.
Kills his teammate, then dies himself. DT just falling apart in Game 3 as TSM are looking to hold on in the series and force the Game 4.
So many players pushing forward. Sender a lot to deal with. He falls. The
Wow.
1-point toss comes in from Coldshine, who still has his Tempest available. Good time to bring it out, and he's going to do it right here, just covering that neutral drone.
He's waiting for any pressure that could potentially be brought in from DT.
Oh.
There he hits the hip fire, goes for the 2nd. There it is, 3rd. Not going to connect, but hey, I think the damage has already been done, Revan. It's still a 3-possession game.
I agree.
DT, they have to use all their stuff defensively. It doesn't wind up working out. I mean, DT, what was this performance in Uplink? Some very questionable decisions for me.
Yeah, and it came down to their slaying. You know, every time they had control of the neutral drone, they had no forward position to work with. They took a lot of time to get their pushes going, which didn't even result in scores most of the time. I mean, they were able to get a dunk in kind of like 2 minutes ago, but since then, this is the first time I've really seen them be able to push up past middle map. They can get a 1-point toss here, but it's just too little. They got to go for the dunk.
Oh, it's not even going to happen. 1 player left to be. They get 1 kill, but kill will be cleaned up. That's going to do it for this game for me.
Yep.
TSM, they'll just hold on to the drone like Nameless did earlier in the Cole vs. TK series, and that was it. That DT team, that was one of their weaker uplink games I've seen from them in the COD World League for sure.
Yeah, to say they kind of came up flat is really an understatement. Is there a step below flat?
Doing a lot of things wrong is just kind of what you'd say. I'm kind of roasting right now because honestly, DT, they're falling into the same pattern they always do. I'm going to call them out on it, man. I can't take anything positive from that game. Can you?
No, not even the War Machine getting stuff done.
Nope.
So
Chino goes 28 and 24, the only one who decides to show up in this uplink as TSM put themselves back within 1 game of Dream Team.
All right, so we are going to Game 4. We're going to see Coldshine here with the MR6, the baby Shiva in the round-ending kill cam, doing damage from behind as he takes down Chino. TSM looked pretty good in that uplink. Let's see if they can carry it forward. Moving into Breach, CTF.
Ivy fits in pretty well there with his team. They just get it all done. Coldshine monster game, 26 and 15, 3 carries and 1 throw. 7 of the 8 points TSM got right there were from the hands of Coldshine as they take that map with ease from start to finish.
Coldshine has a monster game, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. It was easy, nothing too scary for TSM. They've regained composure, and now that's where I think it begins to get scary for Dream Team. Is now you go, we let them back in. That's all you can say. We let them back in. Now, before things kind of slide out of control, we need to stop the bleeding right now in this game 4 and potentially win the series 3-1.
You know, however, I do feel that uplink is probably one of the weaker game modes for Dream Team.
Yep.
No, they've never been a strong team in that game mode, so I think for the most part they're okay. And now you bring on Killa. He's a veteran CTF player, definitely someone who could kind of take the reins for CTF and, you know, teach these youngins a thing or two.
Teach these youngins. It's crazy to think that Killa is now teaching youngins out here in his career.
I taught Killa a little bit about CTF back in the day when I teamed with him.
Did you now?
Now he's passing that knowledge forward.
Look at you. You're like a proud dad, Revan. Dad whose son is Killa and who hopefully can do a little bit better than he did last game, has nothing really going for DT in that one. You know, at the start I was going, they get the first nade kill. They've got presence with their ARs and their tank on B site, and then that was really the only positive for me on that map. Outside of that, it was just highlighting plays from TSM, 3 pieces here and there from Wheats. Chino did what he could, but in the end, they're going to force the game 4. The map, I believe, is going to be Breach.
Yeah, Breach CTF.
Breach CTF will be the map. So we've already seen a very close hard point between these 2 teams on that map. Now they're going back again. You're going to be seeing TSM. They're going to spawn in and look around and go, oh God, not this place. I had bad nightmares of what happened earlier on in this series. I called a 3-1 DT series win.
It's looking good for that, I think.
It is looking good for that, but I don't feel confident that's what's going to happen.
I think we can both agree on one thing. If it goes to game 5, DT lose.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that, 100%. Because, God, DT just love to let that happen.
They always find a way to make it to game 5 against some of the best teams.
Yep.
One of the most memorable ones against Complexity. You know, and then they find a way to get there, and then they always find a way to lose it. You know, I think the one way they haven't lost a game 5 was by drowning. right?
That's what we discussed last time. Is if they can find a way to have their players drown at the end of a round 11, 1v1 scenario, the guy forgets that he's swimming in water and drowns to death. That is the one way DT have yet to lose a game 5.
They've lost by falling off the map. They've lost by ninja defuse. They lost just straight up. Like any way you could think of. Guys out there on Twitter, find a way in which DT, like in a manner how they've yet to lose a game 5.
Fall damage.
Fall damage, I guess.
Maybe,
sure.
It's a 1v1, or no, it's a 2v1.
360 YY ladder
It's a
stall.
2v1, right? The one guy goes to challenge high. The teammate challenges low. He shoots his teammate in the back. His teammate gets weak. The teammate gets the kill. They trade kills. And as he's falling down because he's so weak, he dies of fall damage. And they can't get the defuse.
Think of like the worst way you could possibly lose a game 5. The most creative way too.
Triple kill War Machine team kill from Killa.
Listen, man, I was actually playing games with Small the other day. This fool tried to use a War Machine in Search and Destroy. I was like, what? Like, you watch these pro games all day. Like, you're in the back with us.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen someone use a War Machine in Search?
What is the thought process there?
That's what I was thinking. We were going into the specialist draft. I'm like, okay, I'm going to use Heatwave. What do you guys want to do? He's like, I'll just pick up the War Machine. Just casually throws it out there.
The one place I could see it being really useful is like they plant B on Redwood and you're inside bottom control. You pop your War Machine, bank it off the wall, and just spam it at sight and hope you get the kill. Outside of that, if you're picking War Machine, we're looking for a new 4th.
Yeah, right.
That's basically the thought process there. Ban and Protect has started up. Cold Chan and Sender with the first picks for their respective teams.
And March 6 gets banned out from Sender. No baby Shiva here.
Bye-bye, baby.
But the Afterburner perk will get protected again from TSM. Does this come from a perk 1 greed ban?
It's actually less about leaving the Afterburner in and more about baiting Killa into picking War Machine again to kill his team. I think that's their thought process.
There we go. Let's just have Killa use War Machine again. Killed his teammate. Might do it again this time. Rapid Fire is going to get banned out along with Stock. So kind of targeting Wheats a little bit. Also limiting the mobility of the submachine guns. Can't use Stock as an attachment. High Caliber still in. Overdrive gets banned out. Perk 1 Greed still in play.
I like the Stock ban. Once again, it's the thing that throws
something different. Throws off the timing.
A wrench into things. Pac-Man taking his sweet old time.
Putting a lot of thought into this pick.
Overclock. Ooh.
That's after Killa.
I don't know why I made that sound.
Yeah, targeting Killa with the VMP. You saw how it affected him at the LAN qualifiers.
Yep.
Struggled a little bit when that VMP wasn't in play, but a lot has changed since then. Kuda now great. I think Killa should be more than fine using the Kuda here as Overclock gets banned out. Chino with the last pick.
The return of the Vesper. Here it comes.
It's got to be High Caliber.
Yep. Yeah. All right, so pretty interesting ban protect phase.
Tactical
TSM
still in.
TSM doing what you want to see TSM do, and that's kind of force DT to play in an uncomfortable state. They protect Afterburner. They ban out the VMP. Will Kuda be good enough for Killa to get worked on the map? It's going to have to be.
Maybe he brings out something like the Razorback. Curious to see, what he...
It's Weevil time, kids.
Feels comfortable with. I saw Gataga go on a massive spree with the Weevil over in Europe.
That was nuts, but you saw the highlight of that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Camo Kinetic picked up from TSM. Kinetic Heatwave Scythe picked up. Good to see Killa not using the War Machine here. Would advise against it. Camo will be the last ability to round it out.
Scythe.
As well as the Scythe. So it looks like another mirror matchup.
Yep. Mirror matchup between these teams. No surprises there. Wondering, how the VMP and Stock bans will affect this game. Afterburner and Protect, no
surprise. They've been doing that.
Yeah, it's something we've seen time and time again in in CTF. So not going to throw things off too much. But now, going into this, TSM, they win their game 3. They keep alive in the series. How do they kind of approach the CTF now? What do you want to see guns like AR to SMG set up? How do you want to see them play aggressively versus kind of methodically?
I think at the break-off, you use 2 AR, 2 SMG. Then as you kind of establish your presence on the map, you switch to 3 SMGs, 1 AR.
Okay.
So that's how I think it's kind of going to work out in terms of like gun balance between the teams.
Yeah.
But in terms of, how you want to play it, I think you just go for straight-up engagements. TSM, just play it straight up. You guys know how to play CTF. They know how it works. Track your players.
Sure.
Breach it isn't a map where you could get too sneaky on. Not a lot of routes you could take to kind of flank behind enemy lines aside from, that outer side wall run. But even then, if you're controlling like over near like the back vents, like you could see that whole palace area.
I'm just kind of thinking like, you mentioned these guys know how to play CTF. Yeah, Pac-Man definitely does. Our oldest pro player in the COD World League. He's probably played more CTF than some of these guys have played just games in their career.
Maybe. Possibly.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I wouldn't know. I don't know if you could put a number on that.
How do you not have that stat? How do you not know this?
How many total CTF games has he played?
714.
714? I'd say he's actually played more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
More than 714?
Yeah.
That's a lot of CTF.
Yeah, of course. I feel like he probably has played that amount in like probably one Call of Duty.
All right.
In terms of like all the competitive matches.
I'll send him a DM.
Like official matches.
Have him get back to us.
Put an estimate on it.
We have had one player drop him in the lobby momentarily. We might have to get that all sorted back out. As should be able to just possibly join. Who knows?
We'll see if he has enough time going through the loading screen.
Breach, though, a map where you typically see a lot of the action happen on one side, but a sign of a stalemate is when flag gets pulled into the bottom palace.
When you start overextending.
Yeah, the other guy pulls it back into construction. A map where, stalemates are very intense because all the different areas where you can hide the flag can get easily spotted and cleaned up with one player's good movement. It can definitely force some insane action moments, which is something that you love to see, especially in CTF.
All right, so going into the game, we are missing one player, but I think he just joined in. Oh, he's connecting, but he definitely would have made it to that initial countdown, but Diabolic has joined back, and our app crashed again, so yeah, we'll be coming back in here.
We will wind up getting back into the lobby.
Yeah.
No big deal there. As I had a player drop, something happens. We'll get that all fixed
we'll
up for you.
We'll keep the same band and protects. They've already made their classes and same specialists as well. So
one thing to remember,
like that.
This could be the final map we see in Week 8. A nice win for GT. Heading to the final, Week 9, Week 10, Week 11 to finish out the stage. Who do you think are your biggest players that have to make major moves happen if you had to pick a few teams?
To make what do you mean
Sorry, by players I mean teams.
All right,
which teams do you think need to make the most movement?
Definitely you look at teams at the bottom of the standings that are currently in the relegation zone.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy need to figure out, what's going on. I mean, Aches has been on the bench. They've been playing with Havoc. They get 3-0 tonight by Optic. I mean, Optic seems to be in a pretty good position so far. Everybody seems to be struggling going up against them.
Yep.
I think also you look at the teams kind of at the bottom as well. The DTs, the TK, Luminosity, the H2Ks. Can they find a way to get out of that relegation zone? H2K, they're boot camping right now. They're in a team house. They're looking to, constantly improve their gameplay. Look for them to maybe move up in the standings, but a lot can change from now and at the final week.
Yeah, H2K with the big 3-0 win over TSM yesterday. Looks like this lobby should be started up momentarily, just waiting for one player to swap over to the correct team. As we mentioned, same band of protects, same specialists that will be in play. The countdown has started. Second time's a charm for this game for TSM. They lost a heartbreaking HARDPOINT. They lose in pretty dominant fashion in that S&D. Really, things went in DT's favor. But then TSM.
If TSM win that HARDPOINT, is it a different search and destroy we see?
Potentially. In my eyes, though, they just didn't look comfortable, TSM, in that S&D. DT just traded more efficiently. They won their one engagements, and they got the timings they needed.
Yeah.
Now, though, for Game 4 starting up, it's going to be CTF on Breach. Wondering, do TSM have it in them to force the Game 5?
We'll see. I think if they do force the Game 5, then it's kind of going to be a guaranteed win for them. I think DT might just be like, Game 5. All right, you guys can take it. We're going to lose it anyways.
We've got this. Yeah, no, for sure. And I don't know what the exact map will be for Game 5, but I was trying to look at it there. Fringe S&D. Ooh, absolutely.
That's a good one.
Absolutely love Fringe for Search and Destroy. Always a fun one for me there. Sniper presence, very key on that map. Also, it's one where you have to know the right time to rotate, right? Where it's like, it's an A push. Sometimes it could be a fake. Sometimes it could be one guy in A watching the flank where you try to push through, catch your opponents off guard, you get shot in the back. Boom.
For sure.
that set of map opens up. It's one of those where you need to know when it's time to make a move happen, but at the same time, it's a map where some crazy timings in middle could completely ruin a round for your team.
Yeah, sometimes, you pop overdrive, and you get that early timing through that mid-burst window. You catch that player pushing A off guard. He's not expecting that to happen. A lot of different timings you could hit, and as you're saying, just because the offense pushes towards the B site doesn't mean that's going to be the one that they plan at.
Yeah.
They could play off your rotation. They could decide to commit to back barn, push in towards back alley, make their way through side bricks, and easily plant A. So never kind of I'm kind of thinking how I want to word this, but just because, like I was saying, a team pushes one bomb site, they could easily rotate later in the round to the other one.
Oh, for sure. And Fringe, hope it goes there. Obviously, more Call of Duty, the better in this one. I predicted DT to win 3-1.
Yeah.
My gut says, though, that this goes to 5 games. I think
Okay.
TSM wind up winning this map. So League Ops working with the players to make sure we can get this game started. We had a couple of quick issues that should be ironed out. Everyone's still in the lobby. So
yeah, everyone's here.
Expecting out this one to go on quickly. It looks like they're just kind of figuring out what exactly was picked and banned through that first phase to make sure everyone's all good between the two teams.
It is tough to remember sometimes. Sometimes we even forget.
We watch it happen, and then like 2 seconds later, we're like,
wait, what got banned
did
out
Overclock get banned out? Did Afterburner make it through? Who even knows? I did see some interesting posts, and this is something that I wanted to bring up is now the more we see these tacticals banned out, like Concussion as well as Flashbang, we've seen more players using Perk 2 Greed, of fast hands with the hardwired. A lot of kind of perk greeds between the 3 different perks. You gotta love to see that in Black Ops 3. How all 3
how the game
are very
is just constantly changing too.
All 3 spots are very valuable. Some games it's all perk 1 heavy with like maybe Afterburner Overclock and a CTF. Then the next game, it's a hard point where 2 tacticals are banned, so you make sure you can stop those EMPs with the hardwired 2 S&D. You could potentially ban perk 3 greed. If not, you're rocking blast suppressor, dead silence, and you can move around the map freely.
Yeah, for sure. And if you're like to compare the ban and protects that we see today, to what we saw back at the LAN qualifier, they look completely different.
I wouldn't even know if these were the same games outside of the vision of it, right? It's pretty crazy stuff. The countdown is starting. 3rd time's a charm. Please, DT and TSM, let this game get underway. Excited to see the action happen once again. It's Breach CTF. You said you want to potentially see a 2-2 split of ARs to SMGs off the start.
Yeah.
And then possibly switch in to a 3 sub to 1 AR setup. We'll see which teams listen to Papa Revan as the map loads on it.
Yeah. And the reason that I say I want to see that specific split is because winning the break is so important. Having 2 ARs gives you the ability to just win those gunfights at distance and very early on, allowing your SMGs to then push forward. And the Shiva actually makes it through the ban and protects, and it's going to be Sender taking this one out now. It's made it through before in some of the other maps.
Yep.
It hasn't made too big of an effect. In fact, he's not even going to be used in the secondary, but this is definitely something where you could shut down that top broken control early on.
At the start, it's going to be 2 kills in favor of DT. Sender can't win the long-range fight against the Shiva of Wheats. Now, do you remember the mini Shiva? The MR6 was banned out in this game, so you're going to be seeing some L-Cars, some RK5s, a little bit more pistol variety. Diabolic checking this left corner. Great map awareness from him to expect Wheats to be here. Wheats swaps in a very awkward scenario where he probably accidentally pressed Y. It looks like there's going to be a potential for a flag pull, but as I said, that Colchan picks up a 2-piece.
Yeah, and now they know where Diabolic kind of was located last. Like I was saying before, Breach, not a map where you could really sneak too much on. So they know that they are missing Diabolic. They're going to spot him here over near bottom glass. He will win the gunfight against Ivy, but he gets the information on where Diabolic is located. He does get found and cleaned up, but it's going to be Colchan still looking around, trying to clear out his base, while TSM, for the most part, they're just trying to play base defense, but watch on the overextension. It's going to be Killa pushing forward, and nobody watching this. Killa actually has a Shiva in his hands. Looks like he picked it up.
Yep.
He's still maining with that Kuda.
Don't worry, Killa fans. He's still a submachine gun player at heart, slowly inching towards the TSM flag. I mean, if you look at how the map is set up right now, if they get some kills in middle, they could make this play happen. Chino gonna get a kill near construction. He's got to watch his middle wall run. Colchan, oh my God, just got the best timing on the world on the Sender. This could be split spawn zone for DT. And I think Colchan recognizes that as he's going to begin to run right towards middle map.
Oh, but he's going to get cut off.
God.
It's going to be Diabolic right here. can't pick up the kill, but Sender is there. He has the angle. He has the angle. Be close right here.
And
the flag is going to get reset. Kill's going to have this flag at DT. They go up 1-0, but they're still putting on pressure on the other side of the map. It's going to be Chino trying to get this last defending player down.
If he gets his kill, he earns active camo too.
He's going to use the HCXC. He knows these guys are rotating back. Beautiful.
He's got active camo. He's going to go right out for the flag. He's going to pull it. Run. He's got tac mask on as well.
He got it around the corner, though.
He did. Colchin kills himself with a nade. Wheats, though, in the back of the map, still doing a great job holding down from that back fence area.
And the flag has been pulled by Pac-Man.
Oh, my God.
This puts a timer on DT right here.
DT, they're going to wind up letting this game get tied up 1-1. Pac-Man's got this cap.
Wait. Chino, yeah. That should be a cap right now. There's only one player alive.
Wow.
He was cleaned up.
See, right there. It's a scenario where, like, DT, they get that lead, and then they just let something like that happen.
Yeah, it's rough. You know, it's always safer to rotate back than overextend. You want to make sure that your flag, your base is clear before you push for the other team's flag. That's how CTF has, for the most part, always been played.
Yeah, they played that one like they were down in the final minute of CTF and had to get another flag pull. They just kept flooding their base one by one. As now the game is tied up 1-1.
3 down for DT. Kill the last one alive. They know where he is. He does win this gunfight, but he knows Pac-Man is also near middle map. He's going to challenge, and Pac-Man wins that engagement.
There, do you want to see kill a challenge or just spot the player and stay alive?
I think he should just run towards the TSM flag. Maybe force a pull, force him to rotate back, because Wheats, his AR shot has been pretty crispy. Heatwave comes in. Diebob picks up 2 in a defensive manner. Good stuff from DT, but Pac-Man is still alive. He does get cleaned up, and on the other side of the map, it's Colchan, the last one for TSM. It's going to be Chino not pushing forward, but he's got to watch out for these players coming up from respawn spots. Almost picked up that kill.
That one burst right there could be the difference in a flag cap versus not having one. Doesn't work out for Chino there, so it's going to stop the action momentarily. A lot of action, though, so far in this breach CTF. The team's still tied up 1-1. Diabolic playing slow around this green wall area. Unfortunately, though, doesn't react quick enough for Killet to stay alive. Players still spawning up in a position to cover their flag. Wheats gets the one burst on the Diabolic. And
Wheats has been making such huge defensive kills happen.
It's 9-6 right now. Monster game from him so far.
Yes, Sender, auto-aim, kind of messing with him right there, but 3 go down for TSM. It's going to be Ivy, substitute the last one alive. He falls.
Diabolic,
it's going to be another flag pull.
Diabolic, where are you going?
What? With his teammates, but yeah, you got to cut off that OE.
He should have immediately recognized the situation. He should have gone right to top AC. Kill's going to pop kinetic armor. No one even remotely near him. Thankfully, Sender is in the back of the map. There's one player to beat. That's going to be a cap. Killa gets it in his second cap of the game.
And 3 go down for TSM. So this is huge for DT. They know that their base is clear. They know that there's only one player remaining. They actually spot him, so they can comfortably push up on the map. You're going to see Killa. He might decide to overextend off respawn, but there's not a lot of time. It would be safer for DT just to play base defense. There's not a lot of time for them. Even if they were to make it clear to the TSM flag, wouldn't be enough time for them to get that flag cap in. So just make sure that nobody from TSM is around to pull their own flag. It's exactly what's going to happen. So going into half, it's going to be DT with the lead as they're looking to close out the series 3-1.
Ivy's had a rough game so far with the Kuda, currently sitting at 4-10.
Maybe that VMP ban hurting him.
Yeah, it's just been some awkward positions for him so far. Here's a look at Sender. With no stock, still getting it done. Nice shots to clean up Ivy.
I think they go back to the Shiva off the break once again.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
Just to make sure that they could easily get those kind of first kills of the rounds. It was Wheats using it for TSM. Yep, he goes back to the Shiva. But Sender doesn't, so he's sticking with his ME.
This is going to be a tough gunfight for Sender to win then if Wheats is sitting top AC. He does get one burst in, and look at
he's
Wheats.
Like, I can't fight that no more. He needs to stay alive, actually. He's getting flanked. He's going to take out the RK5.
This is actually perfect positioning for this. Oh, God, doesn't get the kill. And this might have worked out for TSM. Ivy's going to get shot in the back, but he pops kinetic armor. Thankfully for Chino, just find one kill. Use active camo. Use active camo. Colchan dies as well. Both teams not using camo. They're in a situation where I thought they would try to use camo.
Yeah, but DT, they hold on. They get the return. As things will slow down once again. They're looking for Wheats, posted up over near top glass. They find him, pick up the kill. Diebok finding another one after that as he cleans up Ivy. That's going to earn him his heat wave. Pac-Man falls as it's going to be Chino on the other side of the map. He's threatening to pull this flag, and he still has his camo to use. It's going to be Colchan, maybe in a position to get this return.
He camos right now in my eyes. No.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Camo? Oh, but Colchan hears it. Yep, gets pre-fired.
And now that's a kill in TSM's base, or in DT's base, sorry. Flag now pulled.
He spots him.
He knows there's a player near him. Needs to win this engagement. Can't
That's
get it
a
done.
huge
Center.
win.
You need to get the return right away. Gets it done.
That's a huge return.
And there's an HC from Killa actually chasing Ivy as he moves towards bottom green. Can Ivy get out alive? Doesn't appear so as of yet as the RC chases him down. Does have flak jacket though. He'll live to tell the tale of the Killa HC.
Does he camo here? Nope. No time.
Weeks in his base. Stops the flag.
Action
pull
going
from
down
Killa.
both flags right now.
Yes, there's been so many rogue flag pull opportunities. Still though, it's a pretty relatively average scoring game.
Sender's like, I'm done
2-1.
with this. I'm going to just camp our flag. You guys push out.
Yeah, you guys make the plays happen, and you can see pretty similar mindset between these two teams. Who's that sitting inside cages right now for DT? It's actually,
Wheats.
or for TSM, sorry. It's going to be Wheats.
But he was
Did have an
patrolling the
HC.
HC, yeah. Killa finding players near middle map with the
Kills
Kuda.
in
He
the shot in
gets
the back.
taken down from behind. Sender decides
Sight
to take
time.
out the site.
I
These are,
actually-
once again, big defensive kills
I
for
actually
Sender
really
to
like
make.
this decision from Sender because you know what? You got to use it to hold off your base. Now's the
Doesn't
time
have flag.
for it to happen. Doesn't have flag. Dies to that HC because of it. Chino now going to have to make a monster play at his base. Gets one. Can't find the second. The flag now pulled. Killa. He's in a great spot to get this return. Does Colchan recognize the positioning though and that they're missing Killa?
No, it goes over you, Killa.
Colchan
Gotta
can't
watch
get
out
away.
too. Nice. Brilliant decision from Killa, just taking it slow, but that
He's
decision
buying time.
biting
He's
here.
buying time. He's got a teammate running through middle map. Somehow, though, the flag player's still alive. That's going to be a cap for TSM as they clear out middle. With 2 minutes remaining in the game, DT throw away another lead, and this could be a flag rally again as 4 players died at the same exact moment. Killa does win the engagement versus Weeds, and
overextension, yeah.
that might be the biggest kill of the game so far.
We'll see if he can keep it going. He has kinetic. I think he might have to pop it here. He's going to it. He's going to win this gunfight against Ivy, and this might be a counter cap opportunity for DT. The last player alive for TSM is Pac-Man with the flag, but somehow he's managed to get away. Going
Oh my God!
Chino picks up the kill. The flaggers turn on the overextension, though. It's going to be Wheats pushing forward for TSM. His teammates trying to rally
Wheats grabs
behind
the
him.
flag.
He pulls the flag. He's taking shots from behind. He's going to be able to get away.
He gets out
He
alive
gets
with
naded.
the nade from
And
Dave.
it's on the map.
And oh my God, it fell off the map. I had no idea.
Oh, the flag auto-returned from there.
Open up your dictionary, look up the definition of Kobe, and that's it right there. You've got to be killing me. That made no sense as Diabolic throws the Hail Mary of a pass.
There's another theory we want for us.
A what?
That nade right there
Yeah. It's,
for the return.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. As that is just a ridiculous scenario. The flag pulled, not going to
Colshan
get it out.
has had his camo for a long time.
And there's only a minute remaining. This is a potential flag pull, though, for TSM. Ivy gets the first kill. Spots a second, shots down range, gets traded on out. Weeds has his flag pulled out. This
Come
is-
on, DT, how are you letting this happen?
How on earth is this even possible?
The
Wow.
defensive kills from DT have been pretty lackluster.
Yeah. And
now-
that's 3-3.
And he's
Oh
working
my
towards
God.
streaks.
He's got a scythe to use as well. If this goes
I think
into
he's working
OT,
towards another HC, though.
if this goes into OT, I think that TSM win this game.
I mean, for the most part, I think TSM have been playing a little bit better CTF. Some fortunate events going in favor of DT. Killa should get cut down from behind here as he finds one defensive player. Yep, shot in the back.
Wow. I can't believe how many times DT have just given up caps this game that should not have been caps.
I mean, this should really be like a 3-1 win for DT,
Yeah.
I think.
Absolutely.
Just some unfortunate series of events working against DT. I mean, some crazy plays happening on the side of both teams. I mean, that clutch grenade return.
Definitely.
As he went over the gap, the flag falls down to the ground. Auto return. DT got their third flag happen that manner, and then just a clean flag run at the end there for TSM to tie it up and force overtime.
2 games for DT. 1 game for TSM. An OT to settle if they go to a game 5.
Heat wave, scythe, camo, halfway to kinetic.
They still have an
Camo,
HC.
almost kinetic.
Okay, so pretty.
Colshan has had his camo for a long time now.
Hey, he could be waiting for this exact moment to bring it on out. First blood over to DT. Chino has that M8 brought on out. Diabolic trying to chase down Weeds with that HC. He does just that. So player advantage on the map going to TSM momentarily as they spawn back up. Diabolic strikes first blood into top broken. Sees the second player turn the corner. Unfortunately gets caught sprinting there. Beautiful job by Pac-Man to continue to get the cuts in his base.
Yep. Sender,
No
you got no
secondary.
secondary. You gotta know you don't have that, but now Killa, he's threatening on the flank with the Kuda, wins the engagement against Coltrane, also has kinetic armor here, but nobody to follow this up. Doubt he decides to pop it here. Just looking to be a nuisance. Spots two TSM players there, almost won that engagement on
If he gets that kill there, I feel like he pops kinetic armor, tries to make a play happen.
Even with the TSM players coming off respawn right there?
I mean, I didn't, at that point, I didn't see that his teammates had died. His teammates were alive, at least if he had one player alive.
2 down?
I think he goes for it. 2 do go down. You can see just how hesitant Chino has to be near middle map. Pac-Man again gets that first kill to even the numbers back out and to slow the push.
Oh, you gotta be careful, Chino.
Chino
gets sniffed out. Now it's gonna be Pac-Man pushing forward. Kuda at range.
Oh my God.
Obliterates Sender. Because now he's got Heat Wave to use, pushing for that DT flag, going up against Diabolic here. Oh, they both use their Heat Wave, but it's gonna be Diabolic coming out on top of that engagement.
Yeah, it works out for him there. Diabolic still just playing this close corner. Goes to peek on out. Ivy with the swift one burst. Sender answers back with a kill of his own. And it's again Chino, the furthest pushed up from DT. Does he wait for his teammates in this position?
Yeah, he's just gonna kind of play this corner, sneak into glass, spots the player up top, takes down Wheats. Might be a good place to use his camo.
Love that angle he's holding. Kill it. You need to check your left. Looks like he's gonna do just that. Kill it did this earlier on. Oh my God, he doesn't.
Chino, you gonna camo here or not? You know there's a player bottom broken. You're gonna spot him here. When's that engagement?
Flags are being pulled on both sides of the map. Wheats gets the kill on camo. Colchan has a flag pulled.
Diabolic's right here.
Oh my God.
That was close. Very close.
That's where.
But nobody watching the over-extension. Killa's gonna be able to walk right up to the TSM flag. He can pull this and walk away with it.
Kill a go. Colchan's gonna rotate back off spawn, which could wind up working out for TSM. Killa mantles, gets the shots under Colchan. Flag has been pulled. Kills being traded in the backside of the map. Diabolic, you need to make the monster play. Kinetic armor being saved for the perfect moment. Now Killa peeks on out. He pops his kinetic as well.
Safe kinetic, I think.
Definitely just safekeeping. His teammates will spawn up on him. Oh my God, a stalemate. So intense. Pac-Man again gets the first kill to give his team number advantage. Wheats gets shot in the back.
He can push towards his base now.
Killa rotates back, spots Pac-Man, has a teammate here to help out as well. Number advantage over to TSM. Over to DT. It's a 4v2 number advantage, but the players will spawn up right on their flag carrier. And Killa can't really peek out too far. Wheats gets the first kill on Chino. Sender should be dead here momentarily. Yes, it is. And now look at DT. They're in a very awkward spot. They both begin to hit this wall run. Wheats is going to peek towards this top AC vent area. This can work out perfectly. Kill it. Doesn't. Oh my God, he almost fell off the map with the flag, or let the flag, fall off the map. Diabolic recognizes he's got to run to his teammates. He's got Chino watching over his back. I think that works out for DT because you could just have Killa now sneak up the map, right, and go for the return. I think that's where Killa can shine here. Well, he's going to begin to lead the charge. He does get spotted from top green.
Wall run mid. Hit broken.
Play this a little bit more patiently. Colchan trying to look all over for where Killa could potentially be. And oh my God, that timing that Killa just had was absolutely brilliant. Colchan has no idea where he's at the moment. Killa.
Well, now he does.
Trying to do what he can. Pac-Man again getting a kill when he needs it most. Pac-Man, he's 20 and 21, but every kill he's gotten has been one of those major kills, either on a player flanking, either when his teammates are down in numbers. And yeah, it's definitely getting scary now as Colchan's hitting that wide outer wall run. Look at this play Colchan's about to make. Go to Colchan.
Oh no! Not like this. And Killa on the other side of the map, he could find the kill and the return here. Oh, but he's been spotted. He's going to get some help from bottom broken, but Killa knows this is coming. Killa sees him. He sees him through the banister. Almost picks up that kill.
Holy jeez. This might be a double overtime golden goal type of scenario. Diabolic staying alive with the flag.
Colchan still has his camo.
DT have just begun to turtle up. They recognize they can't get there quick enough.
They've just been sending Killa. Go out there. Try to find the return on your own. We'll play 3-man defense. But coming right through the middle.
Pac-Man could make a play. Can't get the kill onto the flag carrier, and this is going to go to double OT. Center should just go for one final attempt.
I think that's exactly what they're going for, is just one try.
It's one. 8 seconds remaining. You got to go. You just got to sprint. You got to go for it. You can't wait. You can't wait. Killa's there. Go, Sender. Where's Sender? What is Sender doing? What is Sender doing?
Didn't follow up the push from Killa. He was just trying to be a distraction. I think he was relying on Killa here to get the return. You see how Ivy's just so focused in.
Oh my God. And Sender's just L-triggering. Gets both kills. Ivy, you're making a name for yourself here on this TSM lineup.
He's going to get extra score.
I thought that was a 2-man push.
Yeah.
Because obviously Ivy can't shoot it both.
Close to the lightning.
Instead, we're going into a golden goal double OT. HC already been brought out. Scythe as well. TSM get the first 2 kills of this double overtime side. Killa should be cleaned up momentarily by Colchan. Number advantage to TSM and already
Nobody's
a
at the
player
flag.
on
Nobody's
DT
get out of
flag.
your
Like,
HC. The
oh my
flag
God.
pulled by Weeds. He has a sight in his hand, so he's going to be running a little slower.
Diabolic needs to shoot him in the back right away, right here. Diabolic shoot him in the back. Uses the heat wave, gets the kill. That's
Okay.
going to stop the Siphon. DT will stop this push momentarily. They've got 4 players beginning to peek on. He's got a Cerberus! Diabolic is a Cerberus!
When did he get this?
He calls it and he's got a Hellstorm
He's on
as
his
well.
6th spree?
He's on a 6 spree, gets heat wave, gets cleared out. But the Cerberus is on the opposing team's flag. Killa trying to sneak around.
Well,
He's going to get shot, gets the shot in the back. Someone from TSM Pac-Man there was challenging the Cerberus for as long as possible.
They're all just trying to chip away at its total health, but
It's like the worst thing you can do that with how much health that thing has.
it's a lot of health to chip away at.
Oh
and
my God.
That's 3 down for TSM.
Diabolic.
Diabolic coming around the back.
He sees the 4th. There's the kill. He's getting
Run,
tagged
run,
up.
run, 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 run,
Get
run,
out of
run,
the flag! Go!
Cerberus, help me!
Oh, he gets out! He's got a teammate watching over him as well. Colchan will die. All they have to do is hold up their cuts. That big kill, though, from Weeds could be what they need to hold off their flag peg. Chino's going to peek on out with Camo. He's got 2 punching on in. There's 1. There's 2.
Is this going to do
One
it?
final player to watch as DT could potentially win the game.
Oh, he dies?
That's
There
it!
it is!
DT win it in the most dramatic of fashions. And who is it again that secures the victory?
Diabolic.
I said DT.
Diabolic.
Ooh, hoo, hoo. I said DT would be the team to win, and they do just that in 4 games. 3-1 is the map count. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Diabolic 33 and 21. Killa has 3 flag captures in that game.
It wasn't pretty.
I didn't even notice that he was streaked out until you pointed it out. You told me he had a Cerberus. I was like, wait, what? Who has a Cerberus? Diabolic making plays happen for his team, using the heat wave to
He's
secure the
GOAT.
return there.
Diabolic is the GOAT, man. He is the reason this DT team even have a slight chance to make it out of relegation. Killa props that game, man. Fit in very well for that team. Played the role he needed to, a very attached-like role that he played. That attached only plays on phase. Let him just do his thing and hope it works out. In the end, in one of the most insane CTFs I've seen so far in the World League, DT take it. They win the series 3-1. And okay, TK are going right now like, God, every time we lose, they win. Every time we win, they lose. It stays even. Optic win their match tonight against Envy. They move up to 14-2.
All right, let's just quickly look at the relegation zone, right? The bottom 4 teams. And then you look at the next 2, H2K and TSM, both at 6 wins. LGTK, they are 1 win away from being out of that zone. CLG and Dream Team, they're both now a week behind, which is certainly manageable. There's still some time to play, but, you know, like we were saying, some must-win matches upcoming for both these teams.
Absolutely crazy stuff. What a series there between Dream Team and TSM. That'll do it, though, for the action here on the secondary stream. Had an absolute blast bringing you guys tonight's matches, but the action is not over. Be sure to go tune into the primary stream to, I believe, see a Game 5 that's potentially about to happen.
Probably. They've been sitting over there for a long time.
Yeah, for a potential Game 5 and then a whole other series to finish out the night. Revan, what'd you think of Week 8?
Fantastic Week 8.
Some incredible moments.
Yeah, incredible moments really in every single week so far of the Call of Duty World League. I can't believe, you know, it seems like we were just starting out Stage 1. Now Stage 1 starting to come to a close. Some of the final weeks here in North America coming up. Australia, they're already done. They're ready to go into their Stage 1 finals. A lot of exciting things happening for Call of Duty.
A lot of money on the line in the next month in Call of Duty, and you'll want to be a part of every single match that takes place. Guys, for Revan and myself, have a great night.